white corn whiskey, and then we use the corn whiskey in the different flavors. So most of these are from Appalachia: apple pie, strawberry lemonade, peach, blueberry lemonade, and tutti frutti. Well, it's not. We call it Texas Sunrise. Just tequila Sunrise, but we put moonshine in instead of Cadell bought us that recipe over from Tennessee. Came over here to help run the barbecue.
Well, I've tasted that one. It's like, that one was good. It was really smooth.
Not
really
bad.
smooth for a moonshine,
Right.
quite honestly. This one looks really nice. And this is apple.
That one is apple pie.
Apple pie. Well, that's good. It's really good. It's delicious.
Henry, Jared Leon Henry, and I am the partner and master distiller here at Rio Grande Distillery. I'm originally from Ozark, Missouri. I grew up there in Ozarks in Missouri and northern Arkansas. I kind of started playing around with wine when I was 12 or 13 years old. And as I got older, I started getting interested in distillation. About 5 years ago, I started building stills out of kegs and just running liquor and stuff in my garage and out in the Resaca, and the sticks. And then the more I got better at it, I applied for the Moonshiners show over in Discovery Channel. Did that in the Master Distiller, and I managed to win the agave spirits contest for making mezcal. And in doing so, I decided I would like to come back to Los Fresnos and start a distillery here in Rio Grande Valley because nobody has one. So until 7 years ago, you couldn't even have a distillery in Texas. Then the laws changed and they started to allow micro distillation. You have to go through quite a permitting process, background check, all the good stuff. I went through that and I can't believe it. They gave me a license. So, here I am. And, I'm just trying to bring a touch of the Ozarks and Appalachia here, to the Rio Grande Valley and share a little bit of our culture and the kind of hillbilly thing with people down here. I've been, like I said, I've got pictures and I'm known with the guys on the Moonshiners show in Discovery Channel. The guy who built my still in there, if you get any pictures of the moonshine still, builds the stills for the guys on the Moonshiners show. So I got quite a little bit of history and a lot packed into this little place. Because I live 4 miles up the road, but I figured it was a good location. It's close to home. I've got a lot of traffic. I'm here on the island. Everybody's got to drive by me. And I hope that whenever, people decide to come here through the island, that they'll stop in, see us, give us a try out our whiskeys, support your local distiller. We have hand sanitizer. Everything here is clean and safe. All our equipment's new. We'd look forward to seeing anybody that'd like to come in. We got the Sex on the Beach and Tequila Sunrise, and we have our moonshine margaritas and moonshine Marys and different things where we've taken it and mixed it in with our moonshine instead of various drinks. It makes a wonderful mix. Corn has a lot of body, barley tastes good. So it's just a good solid corn liquor that mixes well or drinks well straight, however you want it.
What's your favorite?
I like it aged on oak in the barrel about 3 years, but I have to get that going. That's just going to be something on time. I like a good sip of whiskey, but if not, I recommend anybody try like the blueberry lemonade or the apple pie. Apple pie is probably one of the oldest recipes for moonshine. It's probably been around for close to 300 years, so it's tried true. And Appalachian style barbecue with pulled pork, and we're also doing a Texas cheese steak on a bolillo roll with cheese and steak that's been cooked out in the smokers and then brought in, finished out in our crock pots and put onto a bolillo roll. We have pulled pork with a homemade sauce, vinegar-based sauce, really nice. We'd look forward to having everybody out. We have sandwiches too as well. If you're not into barbecue, we got sandwiches. We have club sandwiches and turkey, hot ham and cheese on various breads, sourdough, rye, wheat, rolls, sliders. We have pulled pork sliders and cheesesteak sliders. So, if you don't want to eat a whole sandwich, you can eat a small one. So we're kind of just trying to round it out. Tater salad, coleslaw, baked beans, all the good stuff. Well, when you cook in your mash, you got to cook in your mash and your corn, and then you want to put in your malt. Of course, you got to add yeast to it, and it takes about 3 weeks for that beer to work off. Once it works off and settles, put it into the still. It takes about 18 hours to run out 20 gallons, and by the time we have proofed that down to 90 proof, we get about 30 gallons, 29 to 30 gallons with it. So all in all, 3 weeks, three and a half weeks to actually produce the whiskey start to finish. I did my first batch on the 5th. First batch was on the 5th. We did our second and third ones last week on the 12th and the 21st. And we're kind of past our experimental batches and into kind of what we're got our recipe tuned in for this new still and this setup and how we think we're going to make it. I have Hector Guerra, he's like the king of Valley tag art and murals. Wonderful guy, loved having him. Friend John Boy here, he come in from Tennessee to help me with my barbecue setup and help us with starting to run the restaurant. Of course, they called me over there to Tennessee and gave me an award for my hand sanitizer thing, and all the moonshiners and master distillers got together in Oliver Springs where John lives and had a good celebration. He's an interesting guy if you'd like to ask him some questions about our barbecue and kind of what we do. And of course, my sign painting guy.
Getting numbers.
Right, my TV show for moonshiners came out on March 15th, and of course that's when everything shut down with the corona and kind of stole the wind out of our sails. But then we saw the niche for the hand sanitizer, and it was in need, and we offered it out here to our valley, medical people, all our first responders and stuff. We gave it to them at half price. The goal on that wasn't really to try to make money, but more to make friends and to take care of our community. Now that that's kind of passed, it's time to pick up. Got to start making some money. Come on out and see me. Need to get some of that back. There is a limited body of growing scientific evidence that enough liquor will cure the Rona. So, I'm not telling you anything. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving any advice, but it can't hurt.
There's only one way to find out, right?
My name is John Cadell.
Tell me, what's your function here? What is it you do?
Well, what I'm doing here is cooking a barbecue for Jared. He called me down from East Tennessee to come down here and help him out, get this restaurant up and rolling, and the same thing with his distillery. I've helped him out here a little bit this week.
So is there anything you had to cook different here because of the poles that are a little different down here in the valley?
The only thing that was really different was using a drum smoker. I've never really used a drum smoker before. I'm used to a big stick burner, pull behind type. It's a learning curve, but hey, everything should be pretty nice in there. It smelled good today. Honestly, I don't drink anymore. I gave that up a couple years ago, but he's a good friend of mine, and I support my friends. Well, he did use my recipe for the Texas sunset. I call it Tennessee sunset, and just give him the recipe. And everybody that's tried it so far really likes it. Oh yeah, hey, I love it down here. Everybody's nice and laid back. The weather's real nice. It was 46 degrees yesterday morning when I left home, so I love this.